Welcome once again to Commander by Dayton. Today's video is from an ongoing conversation with Cutestuff, my lovely wife and editor. After building her the Dragon Aristocrat deck, she talked about wanting a Dragon Spellslinger deck. She liked the two we'd made before, the Jeskai one and the Izzet one, but she was wanting something in Temur. Something led by Miirym, Sentinel Wyrm. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Miirym Sentinel Wyrm is a 6-mana 6/6 legendary dragon spirit with flying and ward 2. Whenever another non-token dragon enters the battlefield under our control, we create a copy of it, except the token isn't legendary if that dragon is legendary. Now, Cutestuff already has a Miirym deck. I've sat across from her if she slammed an Astral Dragon, targeting Doubling Season with all of the tokens she'd made. That's 2 to the 70th Doubling Seasons, give or take.
Math is my friend.
She then grinned at me mischievously, cast Ganax Astral Hunter, and made approximately 1,180 quintillion treasure tokens. That's a 1 with 21 zeros behind it. Infinite is easy in Commander, but exponential is far more fun.
And that's why I love math.
Anyway, Cutestuff and I were thinking of ways to make Miirym into a Spellslinger deck, specifically with Dragonstorm. Dragonstorm is an 8-mana sorcery that tells us to search our library for a dragon and put it into play, then shuffle. It also has WotC's least favorite keyword, Storm. Storm checks the total number of times that a spell has been cast by all players during a specific turn, then copies the spell that number of times. So our goal with this deck is to win with a single Dragonstorm and kill the table. But how are we going to do that? Well, before we get to our deck list, we should keep in mind our checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, 1 sudden I win card. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Frontier Bivouac, Misty Rainforest, Scalding Tarn, Wooded Foothills, Verdant Catacombs, Arid Mesa, Flooded Strand, Ketria Triome, Breeding Pool, Steam Vents, Stomping Ground, Rejuvenating Springs, Training Center, Spire Garden, Dreamroot Cascade, Storm-Carved Coast, Rockfall Vale, Rimewood Falls, Volatile Fjord, Highland Forest, Tangled Islet, Molten Tributary, Wooded Ridgeline, Simic Growth Chamber, Izzet Boiler Works, Gruul Turf, 3 forests, 2 islands, and 4 mountains. Yes, gentle viewer, you heard that right. Bounce lands. You know what bounce lands are amazing with? Burgeoning, Exploration, Azusa Lost But Seeking, and Dryad of the Ilsean Grove all let us play extra lands per turn. Ramming Up Excavator, Crucible of Worlds, and Conduit of Worlds let us play lands from the graveyard. And when you can both play lands from the graveyard as well as multiple lands per turn, you want fetch lands as well as multiple targets for your fetch lands. Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and Dragon's Hoard make up our mana rocks. 3 Visits, Farseek, and Skyshroud Claim for land fetching. Finally, Dockside Extortionist for treasure generation. Windfall, Sarkhan Fireblood, Eureka Moment, Urban Evolution, Rhystic Study, Wheel of Misfortune, Echo of Eons, Temur Ascendancy, and Mystical Tutor make up our card advantage package. Mana Drain, Plasm Capture, Spell Swindle, Narset's Reversal, An Offer You Can't Refuse, Abrade, Return to Nature, Hull Breach, Cleansing Wildfire, and Commit Memory make up our mana ramp. Cyclonic Rift and Magma Quake help us to reset the board as needed. Thousand Year Storm, Ral Storm Conduit, Reiterate, Mythos of Aluna, Doubling Season, Parallel Lives, Dragonstorm, and Rite of Replication. Frantic Search, Brainstorm, Izzet Charm, Growth Spiral, Thought Scour, and Explore serve as our cantrips. Manamorphose, Desperate Ritual, Pyretic Ritual, Seething Song, Apex of Power, and Mana Geyser serve as our rituals. Rituals, like cantrips, help to fuel our storm plan and are a key part of our deck. Utvara Hellkite, Terror of the Peaks, Scourge of Valkus, Atarka Worldrender, and Astral Dragon make up the dragons in our deck, while Dragon Tempest helps us to close out games or possibly win on the spot. Now that we have our deck list, we should compare it to our checklist. 58 mana sources, which sounds very high, but 6 of them are rituals. We've also got 37 lands and 15 pieces of ramp. We are trying to cast multiple spells per turn, so that's fine. 9 pieces of card advantage plus 6 cantrips. 10 pieces of interaction, 2 board wipes, 3 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card in Dragonstorm. Okay, so to explain the combo, we need to take a closer look at Terror of the Peaks and Scourge of Valkus. Both of these cards deal damage whenever creatures enter the battlefield under our control. Terror of the Peaks cares about the power of those creatures, while Scourge of Valkus only cares about the number of dragons. It also triggers off of itself entering the battlefield. Now, Miirym doubles all our dragons, which means we get double triggers. If we have Miirym on board and then cast Dragonstorm with a storm count of 2, putting a total of 3 copies on the stack, we can fetch 3 dragons, putting 6 of them on board. We'll want to set it so that Terror of the Peaks enters the battlefield first, followed by Scourge of Valkus, then Astral Dragon. Terror of the Peaks doesn't trigger off of itself, but the token created by Miirym will trigger the original one. 5 damage. Scourge of Valkus triggers both of our terrors. 8 damage. It also has an ETB trigger. 4 more damage. The second Scourge triggers both terrors as well. 8 more damage. It also has its own Enter the Battlefield trigger. 5 damage, as it's the 5th dragon. It also triggers the original Scourge. 5 more damage. Astral Dragon enters, triggering both terrors and both Scourges, dealing a total of 20 damage. The tokens from Astral Dragon then enter, each of which deals 22 damage. Then the copy of Astral Dragon enters, dealing 26 damage, and then its tokens enter, dealing 56 damage. All told, 181 damage. That should be enough to end the game. But just in case it's not, we do have the old reliable combo of Thousand Year Storm, Manamorphose, and Narset's Reversal. Let me explain that combo real quick. With Thousand Year Storm on board, you cast Manamorphose and hold priority. You then cast Narset's Reversal, targeting your Manamorphose. Thousand Year Storm makes a copy of Narset's Reversal. You use the copy to return Narset's Reversal to your hand, making a copy of it and putting it on the stack. You then use that copy to make a copy of Manamorphose, returning the original Manamorphose to your hand and putting a copy on the stack. You then let that copy resolve, draw a card, and add 2 mana to your mana pool. You use that mana to recast Manamorphose, adding 2 more copies to the stack, then cast Narset's Reversal again. Repeat until you draw enough cards and have enough mana to win the game outright. Cutestuff is very excited to try this deck out. I asked her if she wanted me to modify her existing Miirym deck, and she looked at me funny.
There is nothing wrong with my existing Miirym deck. This is a totally different deck. They just both happen to have Miirym in it.
You do you, honey. Love you. Do you have a Spellslinger deck? Who's your commander? What's your favorite win con? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, there's a link to her Fiverr page below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. One of the tiers is specifically set up for Commander. For only $25, I will build you a custom Commander deck based around your specifications, and even do a deck video on it. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Phoenix of Ice, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Brian, Josh, Sean, Olton, and Richard. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander deck videos often, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Also, if you're a fan of anime and manga like I am, feel free to check out my other channel, Musings by Danon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.